from a global perspective, how it would help us to know how different organisations around the world are viewing their consultancy requirements. Are they looking for different types of service around the world, or are they looking for a vanilla service they can deliver locally in the same way as they would, say, America is delivered in the same way in Europe, for example, if you can overgeneralise like that?
Sure, yeah. Consultancy services are the same all over the world. It all depends on what type of client you have, obviously. Global clients want people that are present globally, so they know they have ears, they have accessibility, they have resources available to them at all stages during the project. It could be a project designed in Hong Kong because the client is in Hong Kong, but the integration of that project happens in London, for example. And then they like to know that they have consultants available in London to help them do the construction administration or the commissioning or the testing and all that kind of thing.
How difficult is it to have the right expertise where you really need it?
It's not, if you are well educated and if you, as a consultant, if you understand what your role is and if you have had the learning process. You obviously only employ people that has those, that masters those aspects. So whether it's project management, whether it's design, you need to have people that are capable. If they're not, then you'll have to find the resources to do that.
So is expertise built up locally, or is expertise transferable right across the company?
It is transferable right across the company, obviously. It's about maintaining. At SMW, we are discipline-based, so we have disciplined heads. These disciplined heads all make sure that their subjects have the right level and the right knowledge to the level they represent and is sold to the client. So it's completely transparent, obviously. You have to be honest with your clients. If we are not sure that a subject can deliver what is needed, we will obviously resource that from another office. Being global, sorry, obviously allows us to do that very easily. In London, we work very closely with Dubai, where we interact very closely. Clients are both places. Writing documents doesn't need to be in Dubai, but being present and talking to people, whether they're in Dubai or in London, needs to have a physical presence. So it
sounds very simple, I'm sure it's not.
At SMW, we've been doing this for a while. So first across America, obviously, and then Asia added to it, London, Dubai, Singapore. So we have a structure in place that allows us to do that very seamlessly.
Obviously, with a company the size you are, people are going to expect it to be multidisciplinary. Is that an expectation for large organisations today, or is that?
It is. Having a one-stop shop that can help you with your infrastructure and the add-ons onto that infrastructure, being it building security, being it AV as an add-on, being it data centers, being medical equipment, it's all a part of an infrastructure.
One thing we didn't talk about today was the strategic approach to AV. I mean, how big a requirement is that, or is it mostly big technical projects?
It's both. It depends on the clients. Once again, as I said in the beginning, we have different types of clients. You have the client of Middle Eastern that has no template they can follow. They can't find this on the internet. So they'll ask you to come in and start at a master plan place and then take it all the way through. So you develop the strategy, no matter what discipline it is. It's often combined, obviously, from SMW, and then take it all the way through to delivery and training. You have others, like the UK corporate market, that is very, very strong, has done a lot of projects and have very clear defined procedures how to do things, where the development of the project before it actually starts is not that at all. It is about design, getting things down on paper, being able to send out a tender documentation, because they often don't have the time to do that internally. So it all depends on client type, location, and how they work.
So where are the growing parts of consultancy around the world, which is the hottest area worldwide at the moment? Is it Dubai, or is it the Far East? I mean,
it depends on the sector.
Asia Pacific seems to be hot at the moment, doesn't it?
It is, yeah. China is obviously always expanding, growing tremendously. In the medical area, we see that exploding. Yeah. Hospitality in the Middle East is still strong. The corporate higher education is strong in America. So it all changes depending on the continent. It's obviously linked to their development. So China is at a stage of development where hospitals infrastructure is needed because they have a lot of people, have not given that a lot of thought, and hence they are going for it. They're really going into hospitals.
What have you got out of today? What's been the value of attending today's session on consultancy?
I found it very interesting to find out that, very interesting first of all to find 10 of my my competitors around the table, and find an open-mindedness about this, because I think we all share the same concerns, and that is that the AV market is changing. It is moving towards becoming not an AV IT, but an IT AV world we live in. And it was refreshing to see having inputs from all aspects of the consultancy market, the competitors obviously, but we all work in slightly different ways with slightly different clients that has slightly different ways of doing things. But what was common was that we all have that transition. It's happening. So yeah, it's reassuring to know that we're on the right path. It's also interesting to see we have the same notion and perception of how manufacturers behave. I think that's very interesting. And I also think educating clients and manufacturers was something we all agreed on was key to our success.